everyone, and welcome to this quick 20-minute yoga workout to have you feeling energized, sweaty, and stretched. Let's begin in a seated position with the hands on the knees. And bring your attention to the breath, taking a lovely deep inhale. And exhale, releasing any tension the body is holding. Letting go of any negative thoughts, anything taking up too much space in your mind for the next 20 minutes. Taking a lovely deep inhale and bringing the left hand to the heart center and the right hand to the lower belly. Continuing to be aware of the breath. Just coming into the present moment. Finding your natural breath, bring the hands back to the knees and let's go for some gentle neck circles. Firstly in one direction, inhaling and exhaling as we go. And change direction. Feeling the muscles relax as we move through this movement. Lovely, coming back through center. Let's go for some shoulder circles, so moving up and away from the ears. Rotating the shoulders in one direction and now the other. The eyes can remain closed if you feel comfortable with that. Let's take the hands and simply just rotate the wrists, getting them warmed up for the movement that we're about to do. Changing direction. Lovely. On your next exhale, make your way to a tabletop position, coming to the hands and knees. The hands will be directly below the shoulders and the knees directly below the hips. Focus here on tucking in the pelvis and straightening the spine. You can lift the head slightly, and we're going to take the right foot over to the opposite side of the mat. It'll probably come off the mat. And we're going to begin with some gentle rainbows with the foot. So going from left to right, lifting that leg, feeling the glutes squeezing and working here. Trying to keep the pelvis and the stomach straight. All the movement should be coming from the hips and the glutes. Lifting that leg high. One more round. Lovely. And come back to center. And go for the other side. So bringing that left foot over to the right. Squeezing the glutes. Creating that lovely big rainbow with the foot. Focusing on the breath as we go. Inhaling and exhaling. You might start to feel the burn. Just go with it. We're building muscle and strength here. Lovely, and come back to center. Let's come back and kneel in this position for a second. Give the wrists a few circles here. Letting them rest before we move through the rest of the flow. Bring the hands towards the top of the mat, curl the toes under, and let's find ourselves in a downward dog position. Focus on lifting the hips up towards the ceiling, shoulders are rounded, drop the head. Take a lovely deep inhale and exhale. Let's lift the right leg towards the ceiling in a three-legged dog before moving through to bring that right foot in between the hands at the top of the mat. Pivot on that back foot and find yourself in Warrior One. Hips are pointed forward, front leg is bent, lift the hands up towards the ceiling and take a lovely deep inhale, stretching up towards the sky. Exhale. We're going to inhale and move round into Warrior Two. Pivot on that back foot so it's in line with the back edge of the mat. The front leg is still bent. Keep the back straight and the arms in a T position. Inhale. Straighten that front leg, cartwheel the hands forward to find yourself in Warrior Three. We're going to lift the left leg up towards the back of the mat, up towards the ceiling. You can use your hands for balance here. Inhale and exhale. Drop that foot down, coming into a low lunge. Plant the palms, step back and move through a chaturanga into upward facing dog and back to downward dog. Again, focusing on lifting those hips up towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, let's lift the left leg up towards the ceiling in our three-legged dog before planting that foot in between the palms at the top of the mat. Pivot on the back foot, front leg is still bent, and reach up towards the ceiling, finding Warrior One on the opposite side. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, let's pivot on that back foot, coming into Warrior Two. Hands are straight out to either side in a T position. Inhale, straighten that front leg, cartwheel the hands down, move through into your Warrior Three to lift that right leg towards the back, up towards the ceiling. Keep the head lifted, use the hands for balance before planting that right foot down on the mat, moving through your vinyasa. Up to upward facing dog and to downward dog. Taking a lovely deep inhale here, and on the exhale releasing any tension you're holding in the body. Inhale, lift the right foot towards the ceiling, and again plant that foot in between the hands at the top of the mat, and we're going to take both hands up towards the ceiling into Warrior One, moving through into Warrior Two. Inhale, let's bring the elbow to the knee. Palm is facing up towards the ceiling and the left hand is going to reach overhead towards the front of the mat into extended side angle. Inhale, exhale, move through to Warrior Two. Straighten that front leg, reach forward and find yourself in a triangle position. Left hand is lifted towards the ceiling and the legs are straight. Lovely. Plant the palms at the top of the mat. Step that right foot back and move through your vinyasa. Finding yourself in downward facing dog. Take a lovely deep inhale and exhale, releasing that left foot up towards the ceiling into your three-legged dog, planting that foot at the top of the mat, moving through into Warrior One. Remember, hips are pointed forward, hands are raised up towards the ceiling. On your next exhale, Let's pivot on that back foot and find ourselves in Warrior Two. Inhale and exhale, the elbow comes to the knee, right hand reaches overhead, looking up towards the ceiling. Coming back through Warrior Two, straighten that leg, reach forward until you can't any further and come into triangle. Right arm is lifted towards the ceiling and set your gaze up towards the ceiling along with it. Lovely. Exhale, plant the palms at the top of the mat, step the left foot back and move through your vinyasa. And find yourself back in downward dog. Take a lovely deep inhale here and exhale. Let's move forward, adjust the feet to find yourselves in a high plank. We're going to pivot to one side and come into a side high plank. Reaching the left hand up towards the ceiling, engaging the core. Plant the palm, move through center and go for the other side. Building strength and muscle here. Continue to push yourself through. Coming back through center. Pushing up to downward dog. Take a lovely deep inhale. And exhale. Again, moving forward, adjusting the feet to find yourself in a high plank. We're going to bring the right knee to the right elbow, left elbow and back. Left knee to either elbow, right knee to both elbows. Left knee to both elbows, right knee to both elbows. Left knee to both elbows. Gently lower the knees to the mat and find yourself in a low child's pose. Taking a resting posture here, letting the core relax. Inhale and exhale. Coming back, pushing yourself back up to a downward dog. And let's gently walk towards the top of the mat. On an inhale, let's slowly raise up, coming into a mountain pose at the top of the mat. Keeping the weight in the heels here, we're going to drop down into a chair position. Engaging the muscles in the legs and the core. Reaching the hands up towards the ceiling, towards the top of the mat. And hold for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back up to standing in our mountain pose before going again for chair. Dropping down, the weight is in the heels. Inhale. Exhale. And release. Come back up to standing. Lovely. We're going to step the right foot back to come into a high lunge. Hands will be raised above the head. And we're going to begin to pulse. Dropping the knee towards the mat. Building muscle. Strengthening through the legs and the glutes. Continuing to breathe. Lovely. Step back up towards the top of the mat and step that left foot back. and we'll do the same on this side. Raise the hands above the head and begin to pulse. Knee towards the mat and straighten. Your legs might get a little bit shaky here, but go with it. Getting stronger and stronger each practice we do. Lovely, and step towards the top of the mat. Lovely, inhale as we raise the hands above the head. Exhale as we drop down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step one foot back and the other and move into a kneeling position at the back of the mat. In your own way, move through to find a seated position in the middle of the mat. The knees will be bent and we're going to lean back slightly to lift the chest, engage the core, and the legs will now be lifted and find a boat pose. We're going to move between these two postures, so lying flat with the body engaged, to then crunching up, bending the knees, engaging the core. Remembering to breathe through these movements, and on your next exhale, bend the knees, plant the feet, let the core rest for 1 second as we bring our hands to hug the knees. Lovely. Come to lie down flat on the mat, legs are stretched out towards the bottom of the mat, and we're going to lift the feet and go for butterfly kicks, so either side, engaging the core. Just kick the legs either side, one at a time. This will really help as you move through different flows in your plank and your vinyasa. We're just building core strength to make these workouts a little bit easier for you. Continue to practice and grow. Hug the knees into the chest. Again, just let the body relax for a second. Planting the feet on the mat, move the feet up towards the glutes. And we're going to push up with the hips into a bridge pose. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And gently lower down towards the mat before pushing up again into the bridge once more, engaging the glutes, engaging the core. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the right leg bent and drop the left leg towards the mat. We're going to move the right leg over the left, bringing the right hand into a cactus position, creating a lovely stretch and twist through the full body. Inhale and exhale, moving through center and go for the other side, bending the left leg, straightening the right, pulling that left leg over the body. The left arm is in a cactus shape. Inhale and exhale. Move back through center. Let the knees just flop open as we bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to stay here for a second, letting the body relax and renew. Take a lovely deep inhale and exhale. Lovely. Drop over onto one side and push yourself up through a seated position. Once we're back in this cross-legged position, take a lovely deep inhale, bow the head, have a moment of gratitude for this practice. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!